Panel. It's titled Charity Concert 2.0, No Tickets Required. Carrie Steib, she's the Director of Social Good at Spotify. Jeff Davidoff, Chief Marketing Officer at One. Recording artist Christina Grimmie, and moderated tonight by Adam Ostro, who's Senior VP of Content and Executive Editor at Mashable. So please welcome them.
There we go. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for sticking around, and definitely stick around after the panel as well, as Christina is going to be performing for us. So to kick things off, Jeff, I know you have a video. Why don't you set it up for everybody?
Sure, thanks, Adam. Just a brief introduction. This is a quick highlight video of the program Agitate we're going to talk through. So it'd be good to watch the video because it's one thing to talk about music. It's a lot more exciting to listen to it.
Awesome. So, Jeff, taking the charity concert and putting it online, talk a little bit about what that is, and for those folks that might not be familiar, how you guys came up with Agitate.
Sure. So Agitate started, like a lot of programs, at the One campaign with a political moment. In this case, the G8. You know, we're an advocacy organization, and as one, we're always looking for opportunities to bring pressure to bear on politicians at key political moments. And the G8 in the past has been an important moment, and it is now too. But the G8 itself is not a super sexy or exciting idea, so that's a tough place to start. The second part of this is that what One is all about. You know, we're a pure advocacy organization, so we're asking for your voice. We often say we're not asking for your money, we're asking for your voice. So put together wanting to get to the G8 and the idea of voice, and it led us very quickly to the idea of music. But we needed to make one more leap because the truth is, this present company excluded, if you go into a regular room of people and say who's up for talking about extreme poverty, the answer is no one, which is why we need some kind of creative hook. And in this case, the hook was having great contemporary artists do new takes on famous protest songs. Put that all together, and then the question we always come back to is, well, how are you going to make sure that people see it? So we did have an opportunity, a relationship with the Tate Modern Museum to have live shows in front of the Tate Modern for 2 days. And that's great because the UK was the host country, and that makes a lot of sense. But you reach very few people, right? And what scale is about today, and that's what matters to us, is where Spotify is and where YouTube is. You know, One has a kind of unique role. We like to think we sit at that intersection of doing good and pop culture. And we have a responsibility and a commitment to reach millions of people. And we were not going to reach millions of people at a live show. But we did really successfully reach millions of people by partnering with Carrie and Spotify and our friends at YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And music is still being released, too. This is something that's been going on for several months now.
Yeah, we're releasing on Tuesday, Volume 5 of Agitate on Spotify. Make sure you download that. And the numbers have been staggering. You know, our YouTube views, we checked this morning, are about 4.5 million. And to me, that's a big number in and of itself, but what's also interesting is the continuation of it. With a lot of things that we do, you put something out there on the web and there's a big blip tied to the launch, but then it drops off pretty sharply. In the first 2 or 3 weeks, we only had 1 million views. But this thing has just such a long tail to it. I'm beginning to think that there's essentially an infinite shelf life to videos on YouTube. We were talking this morning, and part of the beauty of it is that right now, there's a bunch of people out there searching for music on YouTube. So having it on that platform, and the same thing for Spotify, having it on those two platforms means it's able to be consumed every day. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I did little in the fight against extreme poverty, and we turned up 30,000 more views. Mm-hmm.
Now, Christina, you're an artist that was actually discovered on YouTube. Talk a little bit about what that's been like.
YouTube for me has obviously changed my life dramatically. I'm from New Jersey, so I literally moved to LA for my career solely, and it's because of YouTube. That's how my managers found me. That's how my fans obviously found me, and I get to have a real
and not try and create sort of an artificial third way, which was bringing people to one.org.
And Carrie, what have you learned from the Spotify perspective? How might you guys evolve the tool and the service to accommodate social good?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of things. One of the things that worked really well that I think we should amplify for Agitate 2.0 is actually having either the artists that you're working with create their own versions of protest playlists. We saw you do that with Tom Morello and Pharrell, and that worked really well, as well as one creating their own content. And I think our fans and the people on Spotify, they go to listen to music, but they also go to hear the stories behind the music and to get a different perspective on curation. And so I would love to do more around that as well. And then making sure that that music can travel everywhere. So, if you decide to have it on Facebook or on one.org again or somewhere else, like that music should be able to travel everywhere.
And Jeff, kind of in wrapping up here, what's the one thing you'd like the audience to know? If there's a call to action from this campaign, what is it?
The call to action is to take action. At the end of the day, I think that, like a lot of organizations have been here today, one's in the anti-apathy business. If you come and you start with one and you stay with one, fantastic. If you come and you start with one and you do something else, fantastic. But we need to together close the gap between the potential of so many people, particularly young people, saying, I'm a citizen of the world and I want to help change the world. Close the gap between that potential and the reality. And also recognize that things like online petitions or things like Facebook likes are great, but they're just the start. At the end of the day, we need people doing more difficult and frankly more dull things. What moves politicians are phone calls. What moves politicians are handwritten letters, are meetings in person. So we're talking a lot about the first part of the battle, right, which is bringing a whole bunch more people in the tent and doing it in an exciting way. But we also have to recognize that that's just the beginning.
Great. So we are going to close with a performance from Christina. Tell us about what we're going to hear.
Well, we're going to hear two songs from my album that just released. And one is just a piano song and one is a track. It's an upbeat track, so hope you all aren't tired or something.
Great. Well, Christina, Jeff, Carrie, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in just a minute for Christina's performance. Thank you.
And please welcome back to the stage Christina Grimmie.
Hope you guys like music.
You called me out and taught me tough with love, with love. You fought my flaws, my teeth, my claws with love, with love. 'Cause every time I'm slipping away from myself, you're the one that moves me like nobody else. 'Cause when I'm down and I'm done, and I'm coming unplugged, when I'm ready to fall, you're the one always holding me up with love. Oh no, no, yeah. Your tongue won't tie, you always find the truth. Yeah, you do. But still you smile despite the lines that I drew for you. 'Cause every time I'm slipping away from myself, you're the one that moves me like nobody else. 'Cause when I'm down and when I'm down and I'm done, when I'm coming unplugged, when I'm ready to fall, you're the one always holding me up. When I'm down and I'm done, when I'm coming unplugged, when I'm ready to fall, you're the one always holding me up. With love.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight, and thank the whole entire One campaign for allowing me to perform and be on the panel. It's been amazing. So, one more song.
On the first day of class, you walked into the room, just a hot little thing, the bad attitude. I knew you were trouble, baby. I was saved by the bell, couldn't wait to get home and tell my mama this boy that I know. Yeah, I knew it was complicated. Boy, I know you're dangerous. You're not the one I'm supposed to love, but this is more than just a crush tonight. I'm gonna tell my mama about you. I'ma tell her, I'ma tell her, I'ma tell my mama about you. I'ma tell her, I'ma tell her, I'ma tell my mama about you. Ooh, I'ma tell my mama about you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I locked myself in my room, called you up on the phone. Don't know why I hung up soon as you said hello. And it's true, so true. You got me tripping, baby. That night I couldn't sleep, rolled around in the bed. 'Cause the boy on my dreams is a nightmare instead. It's true, so true. Don't nobody try to save me. Boy, I know you're dangerous. You're not the one I'm supposed to love, but this is more than just a crush tonight. I'm gonna tell my mama about you. I'ma tell her, I'ma tell her, I'ma tell my mama about you. I'ma tell her, I'ma tell her, I'ma tell my mama about you. Yeah, I'ma tell my mama about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I ain't never ever met a boy who made me feel the way that you do, you do, you do. Hey, I said I never ever met a boy who made me feel the way that you do, you do, you do. Come on now, boy, I know you're dangerous. You're not the one I'm supposed to love, but this is more than just a crush tonight. Hey, I said I'm gonna tell my mama about you. I'ma tell her, I'ma tell my mama about you. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'ma tell my mama about you. Ooh. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.